All right, how about now, guys? Can you guys hear me? Okay, perfect. All right, let me not touch anything, all right? All right, let's get our screen set up here. All right, here we go. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone had an amazing day yesterday. It's again a lot of craziness going on. Good morning, Norm. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. Been a crazy morning on both of our parts.
It sure has. For me, it started late last night with the class. Again, I moved offices, and it just has been unreal the amount of issues I'm having with the internet connection. So I'm actually running my computer right now. For those that don't know, through a hotspot. Norm is helping me out with the XSplit to send over to YouTube. So if you see things a little funky today, that's the reason why. Um, all right, let's get started. Just want to bring in here the
Hey,
comments so I can see what people are saying. Yep.
Carlos, will you close that little thing at the bottom of your screen? There you go.
Oh, this right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's annoying. I hate that too. There we go. All right, so where's my pen? We got my pen going. Excellent. All right, I can see everyone here. All right, excellent. All right, guys, so let's get started. Let's look at what we had yesterday. What's my watch list yesterday, which did not look green at all yesterday. Everything in here was red. Looks like we have some green today. So let's see what the SPY is doing as well. Actually, let's take a look at the SPY now. Starting up this morning. Let's look at the daily. So again, just a nice red day yesterday. A couple of just downtrend here going on. You have this green day here, but really it's made a new low here. And yesterday just continued that low, hit all the way up to 280. Then we got a bit of a bounce. So not sure what to expect today, guys. We're up a bit. I just again, it can go either way. Today is going to be an interesting day to see what happens in the market throughout the day. I don't expect a huge bounce. And I don't know what to expect, to be honest, Norm. I don't know about you, but this can go either way
Yeah,
at the moment.
I'm in the same boat. I'm curious. Frankly, I might not trade today. I got chopped up on a
Hmm.
couple of things yesterday. I was 0 for 3.
Yep.
I think it could go either way. I'm curious to see if we're getting this little pop and it gets sold into real hard by investors or by the big institutions and stuff when we open. So it'll be an interesting day. I think it will start to find out. Carlos, if you zoom back, excuse me, if you zoom back on that 1 day chart, and I'm sorry guys, the way we're running this, I'm really limited in what charts I can look at personally. But remember when we were sitting February to March and we kept hitting 281, 281, 281 five times, six times, seven times?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So, and I was thinking this yesterday when we were following. We went through it yesterday, but now we're kind of sitting right there, and I'm curious which way it's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting for sure. Again, don't know what's going to happen. I might not trade just because my technical issues overall, but yeah, it's going to be one of those days if you're trading today. So let's look at our stocks from yesterday. We had a lot of on here that will that moved. That was all in red. To start with MU, I was watching this one. Let's get our charts in line here on the 5. Here it is. Again, it's kind of a reflection of what kind of day it was. I mean, just look at MU. Look at this chop, right? After a candle like this, you expect something to go up, but then look at this pullback, right?
Yeah.
That's tough to take an open range breakdown or break up on something like this when you see that type of activity. And then you can see it just continues to be chop all morning. I mean, these are not clean candles. This is very difficult to
I mean,
trade.
it
Um,
those first 5 minutes essentially engulfed before it went the other way, and then just sold off all the way
yeah,
back to the low.
yeah. And look at the one again. The one you could kind of see it a little cleaner, but if you look at the 5, I mean, it's just not clean trading at all. Let's look over at JD. JD was actually pretty nice. Took a nice pop here above VWAP, held these moving averages, and actually became a beautiful open range breakup. And the 1 minute chart gives you a beautiful ABCD pattern you could take. You got your A here, here's your B. Look at your C right on here, right almost below VWAP. But the minute it comes up and it holds, this is where it's a good entry to go long for the crack at the high of the day, and it continues to be higher. So JD Had a really nice play in the morning, and it just went up all day. Just kind of grind higher. So this was pretty good to see. INTC was pure chop. I was watching this one closely, and again, just didn't give it any opportunity. Nice pop here, sells back down, and then once it starts going up and down like this, I'm not interested anymore. So to catch a move like this one here is very difficult because after this, it's just not interesting. It is something I don't want to be part of. AMD was nice. I don't know how I missed AMD. I saw it after the fact. I was trying so hard to get into Teva. Unfortunately, didn't get filled on that short selling restriction. That was frustrating. But look at AMD. AMD became beautiful. It popped up nicely, engulfed the previous 5 minute candle. Nice pullback here to VWAP. Doesn't crack VWAP. Here's your entry on the way down. So this was a perfect 10-minute opening range breakdown. It just looks how it drops nicely here. So hopefully some of you guys took advantage of this trade. Unfortunately, I was messing around with this one here, Teva. Teva did a nice drop here. I wanted to get in when Andrew got in as well in this area. Once it lost VWAP, it looked very weak. Unfortunately, I did not get filled. Then several times it pulled back. It pulled back here again. Try to get in short here again, and still didn't get filled. I said, you know what? I'm not chasing it no more. Now I'm going to be way too extended from VWAP. Nothing good can come out of that. But this was nice. They did a false VWAP breakout. Beautiful breakout here. It tries to get up above VWAP. Cannot hold these levels. You can see it just dives right back down. Again, I had one trader send me their trade to share with me, and they got in here. Unfortunately, they got stopped out. But if they would have gotten back in here, that would have been amazing. But they had got in here after they got the confirmation. Unfortunately, it goes above VWAP, but this would have been a great trade towards the short if he was able to get back in here as well. It just looks like it goes down right to test the low of the day. Just want to mark that down here. It goes right to that, right? That's what that level is so important. And then SQ is also pretty clean compared to everything else, compared to an MU and a INTC. This one actually tries to get above VWAP, cannot hold, sells down. On here is a good indication of an entry. As you can see, it's closing below VWAP. Tested the low of the day, it just continues to drop. But again, I was so into Teva. Teva really messed me up yesterday by not getting in here because I knew this would have been a perfect entry and this could have been a beautiful drop. Looks like it might be in play today again. It is on short selling restriction. It had a very big red day yesterday, so we'll have to see how that reacts today. All right, guys. So let's get into the stocks that we have on our gappers. Let's start with STM. As we know, STM is a stock that does not trade well. I want to bring it up to show others that have not seen this. We talked about stocks like this in our class 2 last night, where they have these horrible daily charts. Look at this horrible daily chart. A lot of gaps in here. Usually foreign stocks have this type of activity, and they don't trade well. You know, they're very choppy. This one obviously, although it's gapping up 5.7, it has 273,000 shares traded. Doesn't mean it's a stock that's in play. So look at this pre-market action, how flat and nasty this is. So just want to show us as an example. JMIA, what is that one up to? Up 4.5, 131,000 shares traded so far. Daily chart here looks interesting. Oh, I had a nice bounce. Didn't think it bounced out like that. Look at that. I had a really nice bounce here. So this one looks interesting. Has some decent volume. Pre-market action pretty flat today, but again, I expect things to be a little bit choppy, just depending on what the market is actually going to do today. But this one could be interesting to watch. So we'll put this one on here. Billy, we have traded Billy in the past before. What we got going on here? All right, here it is. All right. Oh, not looking great. No volume. All the ugly pre-market action, ugly daily chart in the last couple of days. So yeah, Billy's not one that looks good at the moment. Then TME down 8%. That's good. Oh, this is nice. I like what I'm seeing here. So leaving these ranges, obviously couldn't hold this support where the previous day close was before. In this range here, you can tell it held it several times. This time it's gapping down. Do we have any news on this? Just gonna check TME on Benzinga. See, what do we have?
They reported earnings last night, I think.
Yep, earnings last night. Yeah, so this is one that will definitely be nice to watch. All right, we'll keep that one in the bunch here. Let's look at our Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. What are the difference between yesterday and today in regards to the size of the gappers list?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep. So let's look at our buddy AMD, see what that's doing here. AMD at the moment just not doing much, but AMD is one that we can watch on a day like this where there's not a lot going on. AMD could be one that you can have on your list.
Yeah, you know it'll get the
TVX
volume.
about yeah, it's gonna get the volume for sure. We just got to see if hopefully the stock market plays nice today. Let's look at the SPY, see what is going on now. Yeah, it's trying to get up there. It has a nice bounce. It's up 1%, almost 1% at the moment, so that's good. So we have AXSM, which usually doesn't trade very well. Look at the volume here. Another great example, guys. Tons of volume, 488,000 shares traded. Should be in here somewhere. There it is. 487,000 shares traded. Just a block trade, not much happening. Flat action, all this volume here. So uh, not one that you want to trade. Next we have us Nasdaq ETF. Apple. What is Apple up to? Think Apple's going to be doing again the same thing, just kind of following what the SPY is doing at the moment. Also putting in a little bounce here. It is up 1.6, 762,000 shares traded, so it's got the volume. This is why Apple is great to trade, even when there's not much going on. It's got all this nice volume, and it actually has a good pre-market action. Believe it or not,
Yeah,
this is a decent pre-market action. So um, let's add Apple on here.
I don't
All
know
right,
if it'll be today,
SA.
but it's got a little gap to fill up into the low 190s too. That if it starts to pop on the daily
Yeah.
right there from what 180,
hmm
190ish to 193, 194.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a nice little gap there. If it can get above that 190, I hear you. That looks very good. Yeah, like you said, it might not be today, it might be a couple of days from now. We'll have to see how that develops. All right, so here, wow, this is nasty. SAEX, really nasty pre-market action right now. Has some volume, 305,000 shares traded. But look at this action, right? It's just nasty all around the VWAP. You got one candle here sitting with almost 87,000 shares traded. Let's see what the daily looks like. Yeah, daily doesn't. It looks all right. I'm assuming it's a low float. Yeah, for a low float, it looks okay. It has some pop to it. Um, but I am gonna try to avoid this one here. So XEX. We can find some levels for those that want to trade this low float, but I am not going to be touching this one. Let's see if it gets better too, because really, even if you trade low flows, this type of stock here, you don't want to trade. Even if you're into those strategies, this is one that looks just horrible overall. Next, we have WISA, WAISA, not much happening. HOTH, here, not much going on, no activity. Mark, Mark, no volume. KNDI, KNDI at the moment, nothing going on, no volume. PTI, nothing happening. IMMR, not much going on. LIQT, nothing happening there. Our buddy Riot is it's been active the last couple of days, trying to
Yeah.
get a bounce going here. So that could be interesting. We'll throw this on here. What's the float on this thing? Sorry about the noise, guys. I think somebody's doing their lawn back there. It's 13 million shares. All right, so this could be under the riskier pile.
And
I do like the
notice,
fact that it's kind of putting it in a bounce, right?
yeah, it is putting in a bounce. Look at that short float too. It's 27%.
Yeah, yeah. So this could be interesting. 13 million shares flow. We traded a lot in the past when it was really active. Hasn't been that active the last couple of months, really. But let's see what happens. Put it on here. Today looks good. Looks like it might be trying to break out here. We just need more volume at the moment. So only up 7.9, but really no volume uh, for it. And last one, FTFT. We have 7.7, no volume though. It has ran up in the past. I can see we have some levels on here. Not sure if we traded it, but again, today it just doesn't have the volume. All right, guys. So let's see. What do you guys have on your end?
Take a look at Uber when you get a chance. It's popping up almost 3.5%. Have you heard the story on this? The Morgan Stanley investors by chance, Carlos?
No, no, I
So
haven't. Please fill us in.
so Morgan Stanley was the lead underwriter on this, and they gave some of their high net worth clients the finger quotes privilege to buy into the Uber IPO at $48.77 with heavy fees, a minimum of $250,000 investment, and a lockup period for 180 days. So, in other words, there's a lot of rich people holding a whole lot of Uber.
Mm-hmm.
They can't touch for 6 months
Mm-hmm.
when it never even got anywhere close to the price they paid for it, and they paid out the wazoo to Morgan Stanley to get the shares.
Oh my God!
Yep.
Wow.
People are not
They
real
could
happy
they
about
could save
that.
themselves some money.
Yep.
They could save themselves some money and bought it now. Oh man, that is not fun. Um, so yeah, Uber is interesting. Got some good volume. 882,000 shares traded so far, up 3.2. So this is good. Pre-market action is so. It's better than a lot of stuff we've been seeing this morning. But it's got some good volume. I like the daily chart actually too. Although I know we don't have a lot to go by here, but you can see it's clearly putting in some kind of bounce here for today. So Uber's good. Let's put that on there. That's interesting, man. I can't believe
Yeah, I
that.
mean they've lost
Um,
25% or so of their value on it. It never got close, and they can't sell it for 6 months. It's insanity.
mm-mm. There you go. Fear of missing out got them. Could just waited. All right. So, what do you guys have on your end? Let's throw some stuff out here. Let's see. We have TME. All right, TME. All right, we got some volume. I like the daily chart. It's dropping nicely here. Right, it's down 7.2. But the pre-market action looks a little funky. Pre-market action right now it has I know it has 198,000 shares traded at the moment, but I'm not seeing a good clean pre-market action on this one. So I'm gonna throw it on here because I like the fact that it's down 7.2. It's got some volume, but it's got to get a better pre-market action. So hopefully after 9 we can see some activity building up. In the daily charts, it's a little funky too. Now that I'm looking at it a little closely, it's a little funky. It's got some gaps in here. It's not as clean as a daily chart, but I do like this drop though. I like when the stocks lose a level like this, right? Clearly you have a level in here that's been trying to hold for the last couple of days. When they lose it like this, it's always interesting. It can really get you going. I'll get going in one direction. I already have TME. Oh yes, I do. Oh, I did not know that. Oh, so you go. See, I'm not lying. When somebody gives me a good stock, I throw it on there. There you go. So yes, one of those days, guys. I've been up so late trying to get this issue fixed, so I am not at my best today. Let's look at Roku. See what we got going on. Roku. Let's look at our daily here. Daily's interesting on Roku as well. But again, I think it's just going to depend a lot on what the market does today. So right now, there's no value, and pre-market action is pretty horrible at the moment. This is one that we can watch later on in our turbo breakdown, turbo breakup. So what else we have? Roku, Z. Let's look at Z.
Zed.
No activity on Z, guys. Yeah, there's really no volume right now. Again, it's been pretty active the last 2 days. You can see here this nice pop, but right now it's not really doing much. But this is one that you want to watch later on, right? It could be putting in a play in the next couple of days. SLDB. What do we have here? Yeah, no volume. Only 600 shares traded, so not much going on. Even if they have some volume, this is a daily chart. Doesn't look great. Looks very flat.
I
So
think you're looking at Z for the
nothing.
volume, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. It didn't switch over.
No.
Oh, here we go. SLDB. Okay, yeah. So this has better volume. All right. So yeah, better volume. Same thing. Pre-market action is so. Um, I'm not sure about this one. We got news on this. It's down 42%. What's going on with this one? SLDB. All right, you got some downgrades. You get earnings as well. Okay. All right. So this is interesting. I mean, I don't like the pre-market action right now. It looks pretty dead, but it do got some earnings. We can come back to it. It's not a lot we have on our list today, so we can definitely take a shot at that one. See what that does later on today. All right, scroll down here. Microsoft. I don't like the way Microsoft trades, and I know Norm, you don't like the way Microsoft trades. The way it
Sometimes it's
traded yesterday,
okay.
right?
That I'll tell you guys, that was my mistake. I got in that, and frankly, it was an awesome trade. I got greedy and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
take profits, and then it went back to my stop. I think it was like I got almost a buck out of it, and it ran exactly like it was supposed to. And I was looking for like 10 more cents to get to a moving average, and it was just, if you pull up that first 5 minutes, it was gorgeous. I got in it Yep, I got
Oh
in
wow.
right about
Yep.
where the
Yep. Yep.
price is now, and you see the 200 up there
Mm-hmm.
that it came just shy of. I was waiting for it to get to
Yep.
that, and I missed out on $1.20
Oh.
move or something.
Oh. Wow. Wow. Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Yep.
But it happens to all of us. Been there, done that. So Microsoft today. Let's see what we got. Right now, again, just the volume seems a little light. Again, this is one other one like the AMD, that Microsoft, the Nvidia, Apple. I think these guys are just gonna wait to see what the market does. To be honest, this clearly looks just like the SPY at the moment.
Yep.
So again, nothing exciting or interesting I see on here. It's not gapping much. It's pretty flat right now, a little bit less than 1%. All right, we have GBTC now. GBTC, and I'll look at Cron next. So GBTC. Willie, just check that ticker. It's not coming up for me. GBTC. Next we have Cron. Let's see what Cron is going on here. Cron's had a couple of interesting days. Right now, again, just barely even getting over 100,000 or getting to 100,000. So not much activity, and the pre-market actually is not looking too clean. I know it's up 4.6, but again, it's just not a lot of activity at the moment on the pre-market. Daily looks interesting. I mean, it seems like it's just consolidated, bouncing around back and forth here. Now might be willing to break out, but here can go either way. Just at the moment, just the activity is not there on Cron. JD. Let's look at JD here. JD's daily charts just crazy.
Yep.
So we have this up here, gaps up, sells off, gaps down, sells up, and then now what are we going to do? So yeah, daily charts funky. Pre-market actions all over the place. And again, just another stock that's kind of probably just waiting to see what the SPY is going to do. No, not that much volume. Only 110,000 shares traded so far. But the pre-market action is not clean. And the daily chart is a little funky, man. This daily chart here is just, I'm not sure how to read this one. It's really all over the place. So yeah, I'm not sure about JD's. I like trading JD though. I have traded in the past. I think it's one I'm going to wait for it to hit the scanners. Again, just not sure what to think on it. What else we have? AYTU. Right, we'll look at a few more, then we'll start finding some levels here. AYTU, 238,000, up 8.5. What's the float on AYTU? Oh yeah, this is very low float. Figure was going to be. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one, guys. I mean, doesn't look great. And again, I'm just really trying to stay away from these low float, but this one doesn't look great right now. I just don't see anything exciting. Looks like I might be trying to hold this 240 here. We can find some levels for it. We can look at it. But I definitely will not be trading that one. SQ is one that you can definitely watch as well. Again, it's going to be like the SQ, the JD, the Babas. You can watch this one too, but just like I expected, not much volume, only 50,000 shares traded, up 1.5. Again, daily chart looking also like the SPY at the moment. So this was kind of what Norm was saying earlier, where today can be a really choppy day because of the way the stocks, the market has been trading the last couple of days, the last 2 days really. So today's one of those days where you really got to be careful on what you take a trade on. Maybe go even half size. Maybe that's what
Yep.
I'll recommend for some people to do. CTST, 141,000 shares traded right here, up 4.9. Don't like the daily chart that much. And the pre-market action is just really non-existent at the moment. So it's not a great pre-market action. It looks pretty flat to me, pretty choppy. And again, I'm not seeing a lot of volume in this area neither. So not too excited about CTST. I will look at a few more. CYBR. No volume at the moment. It is capping up 6%. Very choppy daily chart here, but you can see it has a clear resistance here that's having a hard time cracking. Right, got above it and it's sold right back down. So that 130 means something to it. High of the pre-market right now is 130.80. So again, in that sense, it does look interesting. It can sell right back down from here, but right now it's just not a lot of activity, not a lot of action, and the pre-market is just pretty choppy. Also, very flat. Next we have STNE. Yep, same here, guys. Just no action. CGC. Oops. All right, CGC. CGC could be interesting. 86,000 shares traded. Pre-market action is pretty flat right now, but it looks like the pasta is trying to make a bounce. But again, just if we stick to our criteria, this one is really not in play at the moment. Just really not much going on here today. All right, guys. So I think we have quite a bit. I'm just gonna go through these, get rid of some. Let's go here. JMIA. JMIA has a again choppy pre-market action. I think we like the daily chart on this one. We like the fact that it did this nice bounce here and here as well. Yesterday also, and then today could be possibly breaking out and hitting some of these levels here. So um, let's put a level right in here. Clearly, 33.10, very clean level. You can see here, tested it several times. Then towards the bottom, you don't really have anything but this moving average and the high of the pre-market. High of the pre-market right now is sitting at 28. Let's mark it down here, 28.70. So I'm going to mark that down. Oops. And then towards the bottom, you got the, why this not, didn't that show up? Here we go. Towards the bottom, you got the previous day highs, the previous day close. And look how strong this level it can be. Clearly have several levels sitting right around this area. You have the previous day highs from 2 days ago, the previous day close. They're all really on this level here. So let's see if this thing can take off. Again, pre-market action is not looking great. If I find something better, I might drop this one off. But the daily does look interesting. TME, did it get any better? Oh, still no volume. So TME again, pre-market action looks horrible. We're going to put some levels in case it shows up in a turbo breakdown, turbo breakup, but really not looking too great. 14.58 low of the pre-market, 15.48 high of the pre-market. And let's go back here, see what we have below this low of the pre-market. We have a nice level here at 13.59. You can also mark, I'm going to mark down this one also. I don't like marking too many levels, but I like this one here, 1407, because you have several days in here and in here hitting that 1407. So I want to mark that down. You also got this pop very near that area as well. Then towards the top, you got plenty, guys. You have the previous day low, previous day close, and then previous day highs and lows all in here because, again, it's been chopping around. It's going to create all these levels within that area. So this is down on some earnings, but right now the only issue with this one is that it has really no, so it really has not a great pre-market action. So that's the one thing that does not have going for itself today. AMD, I'm going to watch just because it's AMD. So if the market moves a certain way, it can give us a good move. Great example, look at yesterday, right? Everything was weak yesterday. Look at how AMD dropped nicely here. Give it this beautiful open range breakdown on the 10-minute. You know, the 5 wouldn't have worked. You could have got stopped out if you were looking for a 5-minute open range breakup. But after it goes below VWAP and it closes and it settles in, that's this nice pullback here, right? Cannot crack VWAP. That's a great indication for entry. So I'm going to watch AMD because of that. Towards the bottom, you really have plenty of levels towards the top. Don't need to add anymore. Just get too congested. But towards the bottom, we got this nice previous day close in here with next to the previous day lows. Going to mark down this 2 days over here around 25.54, and then this one here around 24.66. Other than that, you don't need to really add any more on AMD. And I'm just really waiting on AMD to kind of see what the market does. Again, really choppy pre-market action, has the volume. We just got to see if it can get going in one direction. Apple has a decent pre-market action. Given all the choppiness, Apple actually looks pretty decent. I'm going to watch this one. Let's see what levels we have in here. So it's kind of what we spoke about earlier, right? If Apple decides to go north, it's got a nice little gap. Noah was talking about this earlier here that it can fill, right? If it can get above that, that'll be a nice little pop. So 190, I expect that to be some resistance there. I'm just going to mark down the high of the pre-market sitting at 188.30. And then the low is pretty close to the previous day close. I'm not going to mark that one down. But clearly here, this one is, again, it's just kind of, I'm assuming it's kind of waiting for the SPY to see what he wants to do. And if I look at the SPY's 5-minute, if you look at the 5-minute now, the SPY is identical to what Apple is doing. Okay. Next we have Uber. So Uber's again pretty interesting. Here we got some really good volume, 1.1 million shares traded. It is a short selling restriction, unfortunately. So let's mark the high of the pre-market sitting at 38.56. And then the low of the pre-market pretty close to the previous day close. I'm not going to mark that down. I'm going to mark this moving average here around 40.23. Not that it's significant because again, these moving averages have not developed. This is a recent IPO. But if it gets going, if it cracks 38 or 56 and 30 and this high here, you want to have something you can aim for. So that 40.23 could be an area where everybody could be looking at. All right, selling off now. Again, just the volume on Uber is great right now. TME, what do we have on TME? We looked at this one already. I'm not going to look at it for the fourth time, so we'll delete it. SLDB, what do we have? SLDB, well, this was earnings, right? Yes, this was earning a downgrade. Uh, so this one could be interesting. I do have shares for short, and the flow on this one, SLDB, it's a little bit on the lower side, so you want to be careful. It's a little bit on the lower side. It's only 11 million shares flow, so I'm going to bring it down here to the riskier pile. Let's remove some of these levels and get some freshness. So high of the pre-market sitting at 777, low sitting at 410. That's where we got that level from. So we got one level in here with has some huge volume around 604. What else do we have? What's below this 4? Let's see what's below this 415, 410. I think this is all-time low. Yep, looks like it. So that's even more interesting, that this the fact that this 415 here is 410 is the all-time low. So this makes it interesting. I'll definitely want to watch this one. But it is risky, so we want to put it down here. SLDB. It's only 11 million shares float. You want to be very careful. And hopefully the volume picks up. Only 110,000 shares traded so far. Hopefully we can get more volume out of this. AYTU, I don't like this one, guys. Don't like the way this one trades. We looked at it before. It trades like a penny stock, really. So I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm not going to bother with this one. SAEX. Wow, this is a horrible pre-market action. Yeah, this is pure chop. Again, nothing exciting here on this one. So I'm just going to get rid of it as well. And Riot. Cool. We'll look at Disney next. Riot is Riot is crap too. Not looking great. No volume. It is capping up 6%, but really this pre-market action is just horrible. So I'm going to get rid of this one. Someone mentioned JD. Let's check out JD again. See what we have. Again, doesn't have the volume, but again, JD is one that, like, if you're going to watch SQ or AMD or MU, let's see what MU is doing. It's going to be one of those stocks where it's not on its play. It's not on play on its own. It's not a stock in play. It's really going to be moving with the market. Okay, so MU is crappy. So yeah, you could watch JD. Yeah, you could watch JD, but again, it's just not going to be one that we have to wait to see what it does.
Yeah, that Disney, it's going up a little bit. There was just news that came out that Comcast is selling their third stake to them in 4.5 years of Hulu.
Man, Disney's been on a tear. We're gonna do here another pop. This is it's been really, really active. Yeah, Disney's definitely worth watching with that type of news. Let's remove some of these levels in here. So high of the pre-market, which we're probably going to crack, but we'll put it in there for now. 133.80. Above that, we have a high from 2 days ago, and then we have this one in here, 136.48. Look how that plays out, right? Right in here, right in there. Clearly all the way to the top, right? You got the 142. And then in here, I don't see anything really that clean within this pop here. I'm trying to see what levels gets hits the most. And I don't see, well, this one definitely gets hits plenty of time. 138.05. You got 1, 2, 3. Other than that, I don't see anything else pretty clean at the moment on Disney. But looks interesting. Towards the bottom, you got plenty. You got a previous day low, previous day low. We can mark down the low of the pre-market here at 132. So we can mark that down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I think that is plenty for today. What else, guys? Anything else that we might have missed? Norm, anything else that you see that you might like, even though today doesn't look great?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm limited really what I can look at too, the way we've got this set up, and I didn't realize it when we did it. But no, I think the Disney is the one. Comcast CMCSA was moving on that Disney news too, but I don't think it's quite as in play as Disney.
Right. Yeah, Disney's definitely the one that's got to got some stuff going for itself here. Um, Anything else popping up here? Pins. Wow, pins. I haven't seen pins in a while. Let's see what pins is up to. So pins, yeah, pretty flat. Not much going on. Just barely cracking over 100K. Um, how does Disney typically trade? And you know what? Disney,
It usually
when
trades
it's in
pretty
play,
well,
it trades
really.
very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it trades really well. I mean, normally if you look at it on a regular basis, it's just flat. But when it's in play, like it's been the last couple of days, it's been really fun to trade. So I think today it's looks like it's setting up to be one that's in play, not playing with the with the market. SLDT down, and I have shares for short on this, which is weird. I have plenty, so that's interesting. Disney, JD, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I got one, two, man. I'm gonna get rid of something here. Um, AMD, TME. What do we got going on with TME? I love the daily chart on TME though. I like that it's losing it here, but again, just the pre-market action is just horrible. So, and I do have shares for short on that one. Good morning, Brian. How you doing? Um, Roku, yeah, we looked at Roku. The problem with Roku is just again, it's just pretty flat activity right now. No volume. Again, it's got a couple of days where it popped up nicely here, but really just not much going on. PTN. What do we have on PTN? So PTN, if you look at the daily chart, this looks great, right? It's been popping up nicely and it's going up. But it's two things that I don't like about this stock. One is a penny stock, just getting over $1. Really not our niche of trading. You know, these stocks trade a different type of realm that we don't pretty much get involved in at all. And then look at your pre-market action now, right? Just in the 1 minute, you can see all this algo-like trading. You know, that's not anything I want to
That's
be
ugly
interested in trading. Now
stuff.
let's look at
Yeah.
how it trades throughout the day. You know, let's look at how it traced throughout the day. Let's look at yesterday, right? This is yesterday. Yep. I mean, look at this. You have no business. We, not you, we have no business touching this stock. So stay away from this. You do not want to be in bed with this type of stock. And also right now it's just no volume. Okay. And that's typical for American exchange stocks. A lot of stocks in American exchange trade like this. This is why we usually focus on, on NASDAQ and NYSE stocks. So um, all right, HFT. We'll look at a few more HFT. Oh no,
Oh,
high
he's
frequency
yeah.
trading. You see, this is what happens when you don't get sleep.
It's
I
absolutely
should have
true.
known that. But when you don't get sleep, and this happens for your trading as well, so very important, guys. That being mentally sound is important for your trading as well. Might skip trading today. So for those just joining us, again, we're having a lot of technical issues since last night with my internet, so I've been up late trying to get things fixed, and you can see that because I'm looking up high frequency trading as the ticker. So we'll be back to normal very soon. Tomorrow, everything will be back to normal. All right, guys. So this is what I have: JMIA, TME, uh, AMD.
WTF,
Again, just
Carlos?
yes. I'll look that one up too. Don't tell me that. I'll look it up today. It's one of those days. Um, Apple, Uber is interesting. Again, JD, just depending on what the market does, not really doing much right now, and Disney. So looking forward to see what Brian has on us for the market and what he thinks is going to happen today. If you did not catch it yesterday, yesterday we had the ETF Monday video up on YouTube, so please check that out. A lot of good information. Somehow I found time to watch that yesterday because that's how important it is. No matter how tired you are, you got to keep the education part going. So definitely check that out. Norm, any announcements we have before we log off?
Yeah, I got a few things. First of all, Andrew and I will be in Dallas, Moxie's Uptown, this coming Sunday, 5 o'clock, for a meetup here. The next day, next Monday, at North Italia, Austin, the Domain, 6 o'clock. If you guys are watching us on YouTube and you'd like to try the chat room where we trade live throughout the day with Andrew and other moderators, you can. It's $49 for 2 weeks, but you can use the promo code premarket24 and get it for half price, $24. Andrew's also going to be at the Modern Trader Summit June 22nd, I believe, in Montreal. The night before, they're going to have a meetup there, so check the forums or these links that Abiel's posted. And also, if you're an IB trader and you use DAS, don't forget that we have the Special $50 free add-on that the special Bearable Traders package from them as well. So,
All right, excellent, guys. So that is it for us. We're gonna hop off from YouTube. Thank you for joining the pre-market show. I'm so sorry that we were late with the scanners and things like that. Again, just we're really running on bare bones technology right now. We're trying to get my internet up and running. So thank you guys one more time. Trade safe. Again, today's gonna be one of those days where things are might be very, very choppy. Brian is gonna come on next and talk a little bit about what he expects the market is going to do. Then Andrew will come on and look at his watch list. So today could be a day where you watch stocks that you really like and you know that they trade a certain way. If the market moves a certain way, like a JD, AMD, MU, it could be one of those days. But not a lot here that's moving on its own. Besides this one, SLDB down 40%, and Disney trying to get going here with some news that's breaking out. So take care, guys. Trade safe, and we'll see you tomorrow again at 8:30 Eastern time.
take care, guys. Trade safe.